Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Little Autumn Journal page and the postcard or card that we're going to do next. If I keep falling off, I will just end it for today. I don't know why my internet keeps dropping. It's very annoying. But we're going to keep going. Maybe. See if people find me. There's Anne. All right. Kathy, Pam. Okay, people are finding me over here. I don't know what happened. It's acting crazy. So. And I don't know when it fell off or what. But if it does it again, I'll just say we'll do the other another day. And I'm just doing sketchy lines on my pumpkins that I cut out of my collaged piece. So there's that one. And then this one. It just gets old when it won't stay connected, that's for sure. And I know my laptop has major problems. This one I'm gonna put some stems on them. Keep looking at the back to see where to draw my little ovals. Alrighty, so let's, I need something for some stems, and I just dumped the trash over. That was awesome. This could be a nice little stem, so I need 3 little stems. Big old stem for that pumpkin. It's almost too fat, isn't it? Oh no. Well, Scott and I were talking about how the allergens are kicking our fannies this year. There we go. And then it might be time to switch up our allergy medicines because, you know, I keep getting told by doctors and nurse practitioners that allergy medicines eventually quit working when you have to use them, and you have to just rotate between them. When one stops working, you rotate back to one that you stopped a while back to mix it up. So I was like, okay, maybe it's time for us to swap around here. All right, and what I'm going to do is I want to cut a line on my pumpkin, and I want to insert my stem a little bit, and I'll put just a little bit of glue on the bottom of my stem, and then I'm going to slide it in here and then bring this back so that it looks like the stem is coming out of that middle section. So there's that one, and I'll just put a little little glue back here and get this stuck on where I want it. And I haven't made up a new sheet for my autumn quotes. I need to put an autumn quote on here. Whoops. We'll slide that in. Oops. Kind of angled wrong. Okay. Let's see if I can get glue absolutely everywhere. Let's see. I think Callie wants that. Yeah. Come on, honey. I know. You like it when I leave the door open, but the flies are starting to come in. So we can't have that. So now because I've got that napkin there, I'm going to just use the tacky glue. And while we're waiting on glue to dry, if everybody wants to grab like a 4x6 piece of cardstock, index card, whatever, 4x6, that'll be the next thing we do. I'm just going to glue my pumpkins down here onto the napkin. Whoa, that's a big old glob of glue. See if we can spread it out. I've been taking and storing my glue upside down. And so now it's all like at the bottom, at the top, and it just wants to ooze and ooze and ooze. And if I'd been thinking, I would have put the medium-sized one on first. Oh gosh, I got a ton of glue there. And of course it flips upside down. Doggone it, stop it. Stop it now. We'll push this one back a little. Oh, and it's going to pick up that yellow dye that's on the page. And then we'll put this one down like this. Oh man, what a mess. And see how it's just oozing and oozing. Where's my top? Stop it. It might be time to like dig out the cap. Oh boy. There's Carol. Hello, Carol. Am I getting yellow everywhere yet? All right, I need a quote. What one did we use last time? As long as autumn lasts. Okay. Falling, long walks, warm drinks, autumn, I love you. Look and see what we've got over here. I got an inhale the future, exhale the past. Impossible is just an opinion, and less consuming, more creating. We'll just use one of these. It's not autumn, but it's okay. We're going to use what we have. That was Paulo Coelho. Probably butchered his name. Sorry. Oh. Oh, there's Helen. That was weird. I saw Carol say, hi, Helen. And I'm like, well, where's Helen? I don't see her. And then it popped up. And she says, hello, Carol. So I must have missed you. So Just pop this on here and hope it sticks. I hope. All right, so put that back in my drawer box there. When this dries, I might come back and add some more stuff. I've just got way too much glue on there, way too much. So we'll just take our tape off so the border is still there. Howard probably wouldn't like it if I stuck a piece of tape on his tail since he's laying there. I told him he couldn't lay on the curtain, and he got really miffed with me. So now I'm wishing I'd put a little border on it, but you know what? It's not too late. I'll just stay within here. And we'll just guess where the 1/4 inch is. Well, that obviously is not, but that's okay. And then over here, we'll put 10, 15, 20, 25. There we go. So that's just how you can make some little pumpkins with your scraps. So there's that. So that was last week. And the wings have dried. So the bee has glittery wings now. And I guess we could outline this here a little bit, make it pop a little bit more. I need to get that quote sheet done up for the rest of autumn. So I have something that I can put in here that's different than the ones that I've already used. So there's that. So now if you guys want to get your 4x6 piece of card, and I'm just going to use an index card, and I'm just going to cut myself a 4x6. I said I am. There we go. So I need to cut the length at 6 inches. And then this way we'll cut it at 4 inches. And I'm going to do an experiment with this. And this is going to be a shaped postcard when we're done. And I want to mail it to somebody. So we're going to do this. And I've wrote my directions down on my piece. And I'll show you the cards. First, I'll show you the cards that I made. And then we'll work at how to do the pattern for this. So these are the cards I made with Kathy Berg yesterday. And you can make it so that it opens. And this one, I made it open on this upper part. And then on this one, I made it so it opens down here. So whichever you prefer, it's easy to do. And her prompts were hidden, haunted mansion, bats, apples, purple, and teal. So the thing that's hidden is my apples. They're hidden inside the card. And then I went looking for a saying. May every trick that you try tonight foretell a future of true delight. And then it said Halloween greetings. So I just put that on there. And then I put my stamp on the back. The house I drew and then cut out with an X-Acto knife. And then I put yellow painty paper behind the windows. And that's how I got those two. But I'm going to show you guys how to create a pattern for your own coffin card or postcard. And I'm going to mail the postcard to somebody. So I'll do that at the end. But these are the little cards I made. And I'm going to keep one and send one to Kathy. So that was fun to play along with Kathy Berg yesterday. So here's our 4x6 card. And I'm going to use pencil and a ruler. And the first thing you need to do is draw a line straight down the center. So on the 4-inch sides, mark it at 2 inches. I need to move some things. I got too much stuff in the way. Hang on. I have to put the big pens in the drawer of the desk because Tippy thinks they're bones and he likes to snap my big pens. He crushes them in his jaw. Such a little jerk. And I'm using pencil so I can erase the pencil lines. All right, and then you're going to draw a line in between your two little marks. So your card is now divided in half. All right, so from the line, you're going to measure out at the top 1 inch in each direction. So if you take your ruler and you line up 1 inch here and put a little mark here, and all you're doing is putting little dots at the top. All right, and then we're going to come down 2 inches this way. So mark a little spot on your center line at the 2 inches. And then from there, you want 2 inches out from each direction. Or you can just do like that. Make a little dot here on the edge and here on the edge. And then we're going to connect the top dots with these dots. So from the 1 inch, draw down to this 2 inches, and it's 2 inches down from the top. All right, so there you can see the coffin shapes coming into work here. Once you make a pattern up like this, and you cut off we'll cut this away and this away, then save this one, and you can just trace around it and make as many as you want. You can use it to make a postcard, which I'm going to do with this one, or you can do cards, and I'm going to show you how to do the cards. Or you could just turn it into a coffin-shaped tag, and if you use black paper, you could do that easily. And then just punch a hole in the center. So now on the very bottom here, you're going to line this up and mark 1 1/4 inch from each side of your line. So there, and whoops, line that up, my line up to 1 1/4. And just do a little dot there. And then I'm going to line those two dots up like so. And this is how you come up with a coffin shape. So if you're into Halloween, this will be something fun to do. If you're not, it won't be fun to do. You'll just know how to create a coffin shape if you ever wanted to. All right, and then we'll cut this away and that away. So let me see. I'll do that real quick. And you can do this on your cutting board. You just line your wire up on your cutter with the lines that you just drew. But if you use some really long scissors, they'll cover the whole line. So now technically you have a pattern here that you can just trace around if you wanted to. You like to watch the ideas? So here's this. So I'm going to draw out a couple of the cards because I want to show you what you have to do. Let me get a couple bases out here, just a couple sheets of the thicker cardstock that I have. Okay. All right. So if you want your card to open like this one, where it's at the top up here, what you have to do is what I did is you take your pattern and lay it down on the bottom of the paper. And I just traced around it. Because like I said, once you draw out the coffin one time, you'll have a little pattern. And I am using pencil so I can erase the lines. Then take your coffin and lay it along this line here. So you won't cut these apart. You'll just cut the whole thing by hand. So that'll come down like that. All right. So then you'll just cut all the way around, and you can actually, even once you get it all cut out, you can take it to your scoreboard and you can line these up. So these 2 points hit the top of your scoreboard, and line this up with a line that you can score across and just score. And once it's scored, then you can come in and erase that line. So here we go. I'm just going to cut this out. And I found yesterday when I was doing those, you can cut into where it's going to fold and then turn and cut into where it's fold, so you don't have to turn in that corner that's in the middle. This might not be the best cutout job because y'all are watching me. All right. I'll just show you what I mean. If you put this on here, and you can line your line up, and these 2 points will hit the top of your scoreboard. Then we can just score on this line right here. And then you can erase the pencil line. You can go around and erase all of them, but then you can just fold this and you have a card. All right. So that's how to do it on the top angle. So let's show you the other way, because you have to, this one, when you go to do it, you can start with the first one right on the edge of the paper. You know what I'm saying? And then have room enough on your sheet to get this part attached. Now, when you attach it, and if I tried to do this like this with it touching the bottom, and then if I wanted it to open this way, can you see what happens? You have to be at this angle. See how much goes off the page? So this one, you have to really just turn it, your pattern, so that you still have room to get the other piece in. So this has to go on your page at an angle. And if you have your first card, you can tell if you're still on the page. So I'll have to come down a little bit. And this time draw all the way around it. Whoops, went crazy. Another reason to have a pattern. All right. Then I'll just move this over and match this lower side up. And we will trace around here. I think if you were into Halloween and you wanted to make invitations, these could be cute invitations. Can't speak today. All right. So now I'll cut that out. Ooh, didn't get my line too good. It's right there. And always when you have a deep angle, cut from the outside in. Don't try to turn right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mail one of these. I'm going to trace out a couple more of these on another piece of the white and make a couple postcards. I could probably just use the index card if I layered it up with some stuff. A lot of these pieces of white will just go in my scraps because they make good stamping bases for sentiments. And we'll cut this one in. All right, and again, if you get your scoreboard, the top points, you could just put up there and then get you lined up here. And as long as those two are touching up there and the top of this line is there, then you'll know you'll be on your line to come down and score this. And then you can just erase that line away. And then that'll fold in like that. So that's how to do the different coffin-shaped cards. You know, if you decide you want to make a coffin-shaped card, now you know how to do it. All right, so I've got a couple of those here. And if you were going to do a tag, you would just trace around it and then punch a hole right there. And that could be cute to somebody's autumn or fall or Halloween or whatever. You could decorate it up any old way you wanted. So there's a couple coffins. I'm going to just trace out. I'm thinking I want to put it on a sturdier card to mail it. So I'm just going to get one more sheet of my white cardstock. It's getting warm in here with the sun beating on this window right behind us. Or behind y'all. And I'm just going to set this down and line this up with the corner there and the bottom edge here and trace around it. Whoops. See how many I can get out of one sheet. Whoops. Okay. Can I get a third one, or is it not going to do? Not quite. So it really does waste a lot of paper. And I have a pad of Tim Holtz paper. And I'm going to mail out a couple of these to whoever says they would like one here in chat. Just let me know, and I will send you one of these. The first two people that say me, I'll just mail it to you. And I'm going to decorate it with my Tim Holtz paper pad that I need to get used up. If anybody wants it. If you don't want it, you don't have to say me. I just thought it'd be fun to see. Joyce says she'll take one. So Joyce is going to get one. I know I have Joyce's address. All right, so let me grab my Tim Holtz paper pad. Of course, it doesn't have to be Tim Holtz. It's just, that's what I have sitting here. Or what I looked at recently. And Linda Renz. Now, Linda, I don't know if I have your, is it in Beth's? I bet it's in Beth's. So you two will get the postcards. And we'll see. You guys will have to let me know when you get them because I don't know how these are going to mail. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This we probably should do before we. I was thinking when I turn them over, y'all's address will have to go here. And the stamp will have to go somewhere over here. Down here maybe. So I want I want this to say postcard on it. Because I'm going to mail it just like this. So you guys will have to let me know. Now, you might think this doesn't go through, but Janet Nash sent me a heart-shaped one time. And an avocado. And it came through. Okay, thanks, Linda. So just for fun, we're doing this. Just to see how good a shaped postcard will make it through the mail. So then I divide this in half. So that'll be your postcard, and I'll write you a little Halloween message over here or something. I'll put this out here. Because I thought that could be fun to see if it'll go through the mail. And I know Mary, sometimes she'll just make one for herself and mail it to herself. Just so she gets one that has the postmarks. And that's an idea too. So about here. And then I'll decorate the other side with some of these Timmy Holtz things. But I'm going to decorate it. Should I decorate it this way or up and down? That's the next question. Well, if I do it up and down, then you guys, when you get it, you can use it as a tag in your journal. I think that's the best idea. You sent a ball jar once? Oh, that's cool. All right, so this has got papers already cut that I'd like to use up, and even some small pieces. So let's see what we've got in here. I had made a little journal, and there's even pieces left from that in here. In fact, I think these are components for another one. So the craft and stuff I'll leave. There's a little kitty cat. I like these where you can cut them apart. Oh, that would be funny to have a skeleton on it. And this says cats, C-A-T-S. And I think I have another little skeleton. Oh, I have two together. So we'll put those there. Let's see what we can come up with and use this paper up. Might as well. And I've got a bunch of the letters that we could do like a, what's it called? Ransom note on it or something. So maybe we could come up with stuff. And then it's got all these little sayings. And we've got some pieces here. It's been a while since I looked through this again. So give me just a sec. This is a really old paper pad. And if all else failed and I didn't want to use it as the printed paper, its back is craft. So he's too tall to fit in there. So it looks like, okay, it's looking like the only backgrounds I have are the ones with the great big things on it, or I can use this as a background. All right, let's see. I'll quit mucking about here in a minute. I'm thinking maybe put this on there like that. So if I put glue all over this, then I could stick it on the back of that, and there would be ads in the background. We might do that. All right. Becky's thinking. It's a dangerous thing. Oh, did I freeze again, or are y'all just watching? It freaks me out when the chat stops, and I don't know if I've lost you or what. But Linda and Joyce will have to let me know if these make it. Has anybody heard from Journey lately? I hadn't heard a word from her since the flooding up there in North Carolina last year. Hoping she's okay. Those folks are still struggling up there. And it looks like the Rainbow Bridge is going to be built back up at Chimney Rock. So that is exciting for me because that's like something to definitely go see if you're in North Carolina. Once they get it finished, we'll probably go back up. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, it'll make the back look spooky. That's what I'm saying. All right. And I got to put some glue on here. And we'll see if these make it. And if anybody else played along and made a coffin thing today or a page in your little journal, I'd love to see it in my group or Instagram or wherever you like to share. I don't know if you can share it on my community tab. Some people have success with that and other people's don't. People's? Oh boy. All right. This is why I'm thinking I might take it to my sewing machine and sew it on there. Of course, I'd have to put some black thread in it for it to look right. Okay. Cut these away. Howard, if you were playing any more lazily, it would be really funny. He's laying on the floor and sticking his paw over into the little heart-shaped cat digger thing that's got the balls inside of it to roll around. He's just laying there going, lazy little bum. Oh my goodness gracious. I keep forgetting you're home and it freaks me out when you open the door.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not scared of you when we're doing live streams and friends in.
Yeah. You made me jump.
Well,
at least I didn't scream.
Well, it's just like that one day where I was like, hey, and he just turned around and went, I'm like, okay, you too. I still haven't reached the workman's comp people, both.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. You've sent them a text. Did you send them copies of what they said?
Yeah.
Have you called somebody at work to let them know what's going on so they're not going, where's Greg?
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to my boss about it.
Yeah. Before he leaves for the day.
I'm probably not shooting a message now and see what he does.
A skeleton of a man. It's not a woman. It's a skeleton of a man. All right, I'm just going to cut the two skeletons off and set them maybe on here. Let's see how much room they take. I don't want to fussy cut them because, yeah. Although that could be, oh, that'll never cut, Becky. Huh. They have not. They keep looking at it like they're pessimistic, but Heather told me that it took her kitty a while to get used to it. So, oh my word, Howard, seriously. You want to go out there? I know it has to be propped for you or you won't go. For a little while. If flies start coming in, I'm gonna, oh, Howard. No, Howie, just go outside. Oh my gosh, the cat. But no, they haven't used it yet. And I keep the old filtered plastic thing there. I don't know. We'll give it a go. It's supposed to be really healthy for them to have, running water. If I have to, I can trim away where it hits the corners. But I'm thinking I want to ink the edges of the postcard, of the actual base. And then I want to ink the edges of this and have this on here like this. And then maybe put some of these little cards on here or get one that says Happy Halloween on it. I know there was one that said Happy Halloween. Let me see if I can find it. That says greetings. I know there's a different one that has some messages on it. Let's see. Cole, he just went out. Give him a minute. I like this one with the pumpkin and the owl. I cut that one so crazy. Let's look at this sheet here. Some of these are hard to read. I don't think they're meant to be read. This one's easier to read. I'll cut this one out. I think his bosses really wanted him back at work today, but I guess the doctor told him he's not healed enough to do, full on work. And I said, you really don't want to press it with it being, the injury is in his joint of his hip. So I said, don't press it. I wish you could read the messages in the things easier. I don't know what I'm going to do here. All right, let me get some ink. And we'll ink some things, and then we'll add these other things. And these will be postcards ready to go. There's Heather. I'm sure they're going to be disappointed that not only can he really not return to work, he can't lift anything, he can't go up and down stairs, which it's a warehouse, so he has to go up and down stairs to do his job. I hope he hasn't injured himself to where he can't do this type of work anymore, because that would really stink. I just think it's funny to put a skeleton on top of the. And I'll see if these make it through. This will be fun to see if they make it. Oh, my sponge is falling apart. Did you reach somebody?
I was able to reach Adam, my boss, and he's like, well, sounds like you need something workers' comp. And I was like, well, I've been trying to reach him, but he hasn't reached back yet.
Yeah.
He said, we'll keep trying.
Well, I just knew that he got upset because you didn't call him the last time, and I didn't want your boss upset with you.
Yeah. I'm trying to stay on good terms with my new boss.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. All right. I didn't realize this has kind of a little glisten to it. Okay. Makes it look like he's holding the sign. These are really almost too big. They cover him up. Let's see what these little ones do. He got injured at work last Thursday. He has never told me what he actually had happened. And at first they thought he had a hernia that was going to require emergency surgery. But then they did a CAT scan and they said that what he's actually done is he pulled the tendons and the muscle around his left hip joint really badly. So now they're saying he needs physical therapy. And yeah, they did some therapy today. And he said, yeah, it still hurts. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I like this cat better than the row of pumpkins. So, let's see. I'll have to be careful about putting too much weight because then I guess I could put like a regular stamp on them instead of a postcard stamp and it should go through fine. All right. We might do that. All right. So I'm going to send these. I'm going to send them. I've got you on my fingers and it's driving me crazy. It's one of the reasons I don't do a lot of this is I really don't like sticky things on my hands. And that's kind of hard to do art without getting sticky. Yeah, he could barely walk when he got out of his car Thursday. And I was like, what happened to you? And he said, I'm hurt. And then Friday, they told him to go to one of the special urgent cares that they use for workers' comp. And they sent him to the hospital immediately. They said, you need to go over. There's nothing we can do for you here. We can't even tell what's going on here. So he went over there and he got back from there at like midnight. So they kept him and kept him and kept him. And I kept saying, well, if you want me to come over and sit with you, I will, even though I was really tired. But he was like, no, I'm just sitting here. And then they came and they gave him some morphine type drug because the pain was so bad on Friday still. Thursday night, he didn't sleep. He didn't sleep at all. He was in so much pain. And we probably should have went straight to the ER. But, with workers' comp, you got to do it in a certain order. But anyway, I'm glad it wasn't a hernia and he didn't need surgery. But what a mess. What a mess. The first injury he had freaked me out bad enough where it almost took an eye. If it had been 1 inch either way, to the right or left, it would have, that pole would have gone right in his eye. So that was scary enough. I said, you need to stop doing this because you're freaking me out. Stop getting hurt at work. I'm just going to cut these away. And the back is getting all grungy because I'm getting ink everywhere. But you know what? They're handmade and they're Halloween. They'll be grungy. And I kind of like the idea of using them as a tag. Once you get them, you could even punch a hole in the top and add a ribbon. So Joyce will get one and Linda will get one. And Kathy was talking about the charges. I saw it in her group that somebody had to pay to get a free print because of tariff crap. Like it or not, we are a global economy, meaning that we have to rely on our neighbors and other countries. And we all need to be working together because we have one planet. One. But anyway. Yep. Grunge is expected on a coffin. Well, true. Dirt and all. So I love this little kitty cat one. But I almost feel like it needs something else. But it's going to be mailed. So I'm afraid this is like people in costumes dancing under the moon. And I kind of like it too. I almost like the positioning on this one better than this one. But this is what we have. This is what we're going for. Sorry about the plane. Oh, good. And they offered to give Greg a prescription for some heavy duty narcotics. There goes the cat again. And that's what annoys Scott about that clock and why I can't have the batteries in it all the time. So, Janet Nash, if you're missing the kitty, you'll have to watch this video again and look for it or listen for it because I can't leave the batteries in it. It does kind of help me keep track of time, but in the middle of the night when that goes off, it does wake you up. So, all right. I think we need to put a border on this, maybe. And I'm kind of wishing I had a label maker. I dropped my label maker and broke it. And I just looked up one of them on Amazon to replace it. And I told Scott, never mind, because it's $45 for that printer. And I'm like, no, I'll write stuff out before I spend $45 on a blooming handheld label maker. It's not even a full-on printer. It's just a label maker. All right, I had a Posca pen. So oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't ink where I cut those edges away. So I need to do that. I'll do that a minute after that Posca is dried on that, and I'll do this now on this one. I might have to close windows and turn the air back on. It's getting a little sticky in here. And more often than not, it's the stickiness that makes us turn the air conditioner on here. because it's so hard to breathe when the air is so heavy with water. But then in the winter, it's like we dry out and our skin is horrible and it's just awful. So these are coming together, and how fun will these be in the mail? Whoops. The people Scott works with couldn't believe that I had taken the truck and gotten the weights put back on the tire that had fallen off and got that tire balanced. And then I'd gone to the garage and paid the bill there, and all before 9 o'clock yesterday morning. And they were like, "Why is she doing it? That's your job." And Scott's like, we don't operate that way. It's, whoever's available and can go do it, that's who does it. We don't do the whole male female stuff, because quite frankly, sometimes I can outwork him. But anyway, there's that. And he'll tell you that too. So there's a little postcards. Aren't they fun? I might have to make some more. So you'll have to let me know if you're okay with Halloween, and I would send them to you. If you're not, aren't they cute? So those are the postcards, and I'll mail one to Linda and one to Joyce. And I shared the cards I made with Kathy Berg yesterday. I'm going to send one of those to Kathy Berg. I've got to mail a pattern to Lala and one to Janet Baum. So I've got Happy Mail to put together. And then here's my little page I did today in my little journal. All right. So feel free to draw your own pattern up for the coffin and use it as you wish. And I've got 2 more coffin cards here all ready to go. And you could even do a coffin-shaped journal with this. You just cut your covers a little bit bigger, or just do them this size. I'm not sure how you get your pages in there. Of course, they'd all have to be, formed the same way, Becky. Durr. But that could be a cute little journal. Or you could cut them all the same size in different papers, and then just put a couple holes up here, or maybe 3 holes, and do that slip knot binding so it would open like that. That could be a cool journal. And you could put different people on each page, maybe. I don't know, just ideas. I have them occasionally. So I will let you guys go, and thank you for hanging with me. And I will see some of y'all tomorrow in Craft and Chat with Ann. And see you later. Thanks, guys.